Welcome back to the next video in our series about the Craft Scholars Program. This one is going to be about how to apply. Here are the reminders about how to get to our website. There's a QR code, there's an email at the bottom right if you have questions. Now, this video, like I said, I'm going to talk about how to apply to the Craft Scholars Program. If you missed the earlier videos in this series, I would recommend that you go back and watch them. But let's get right to it. So, number one, if you're going to apply to Craft Scholars, you must first apply to Barry University. Apply to Barry. When you're accepted to Barry University, then you will be able to submit your Craft Scholars application. Now, it doesn't mean you can't start on the application ahead of time, start doing some of the work, but you must be accepted to Barry first. What does a Craft Scholars application entail? An essay or video, a letter of recommendation, and a completed FAFSA. Applying to Barry is not that difficult. Apply right now. You can pause this video and finish the application. So here's our Craft Scholars website at Barry. Showing you how to get here. I've shown you this before. I'll just scroll down here again as a reminder. You can register for a webinar. It'll cover a lot of the same information, but it'll be live and there will be other people there who can answer your questions. And we also have a specialty tour, which is on campus. You can come. It's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 20th. And you'll get to tour the campus and see different facilities. But then we'll have a part that's just for Craft Scholars, and you'll be able to meet the faculty involved in Craft Scholars, get to see a lot of the facilities. So that would be a great opportunity. But this video is about applying. So here you are at the Craft Scholars page. There's this link up here that says apply now. You can also apply today. So if you click on this, where does it take you? It takes you to your My Barry login. Your My Barry login is where you are going to apply first to Barry University, and then after you're accepted to Barry University, you will be able to log in here, and you will then be able to apply to Craft Scholars as well as do other things relevant to your Barry application. Now, I don't have access personally to a My Barry account. I'm not an applicant, I'm not a student. So I'm just going to show you this in another page. So here's a My Barry welcome page. You can go there directly with my.barry.edu, and this will come up. This is for another student. Yours will look a little bit different depending on who you are, but down here there will be this to-do list. And in the to-do list, if you are admitted under the right major, I talk about the correct majors in the previous video, you might see this to-do button, right? So if you haven't started your application to Craft Scholars, you'll see this. It's telling you that you can apply now. So you click on that, and that'll take you to the application. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. If you've started it, but you haven't submitted it, then you'll have a button that looks like this, asking you to complete the application. And then once you have completed the Craft Scholars application, it will say this, saying that you have submitted it. Okay, so that's through your My Barry page. So first, be accepted to Barry University. Second, go to My Barry page, and through there you can apply to the Craft Scholars program. Now, what does the actual application look like? When you go to apply, it will tell you a number of things that you need to do, right? So this is just sort of a general information about what I just told you. You have to fill out a FAFSA form, the free application for federal student aid. That is critical because, like I said in a previous video, you need unmet financial need. This is how unmet financial need will be determined. If you have questions, you can contact Ruth Reed. She's in the financial aid office, and she's working directly with our Craft Scholars program. And we have a separate video from her in this video series explaining a lot of this. So please look at that video first, and then if you have follow-up questions, you can contact Ruth Reed directly. You're going to prepare a brief essay or video about who you are and your future goals. I'll tell you a little bit more about the details of that in a second. You will also provide the contact information for someone who's going to write a letter of recommendation for you. All right, we would like a high school teacher, a counselor, a community leader. So that's it. Video or essay, letter of recommendation, and a FAFSA letter, and a completed FAFSA. This all has to be completed by February 16th. That means the letter has to be submitted by February 16th. So if you're thinking that you have to be accepted to Barry first and then submit your craft scholarship application, you don't want to wait until February 16th to apply to Barry, because it's going to take you several weeks to be accepted. Okay? So apply early. Apply today. Honestly, it does not take that long to complete the application for Barry, and then you can get rolling on your craft application. And you can start your craft scholars application even before you are able to access it. I'll give you some details about that. So the FAFSA, again, like I said, contact Ruth Reed at that email. Watch the video that she has on this video series, but then if you have further questions, please contact her directly. A short essay or video, what you need to make sure you do is address how the Craft Scholars Program relates to you. Now you might say, I don't know anything about farming or agriculture, and that's fine. You don't have to know anything about that. Remember, this is about all kinds of food. You can address what it means to your career goals. You can address what it has meant to your family growing up, what the circumstances were related to food access. The choice is yours, how you approach it. But you need to make sure that you are addressing the craft scholarship program in your essay or in your video. Okay, so these are the details that you'll see when you're applying. So if you want, pause it, read it, have an idea. So you can, in theory, start working on this before you even have access to the craft scholarship application. So say it's middle of January, you've applied to Barry. Rather than waiting to hear back from Barry, you can start on this. And then once Barry gets back to you, then you can submit the materials. So you'll write an essay, you'll upload it, or maybe you'll have a video that you've posted somewhere, YouTube, Vimeo. It has to be something that we can access, make sure that we can see it, at least the people with the link, and then you'll put the video link down in here. Make sure you follow the instructions. So these are the instructions up here about the content. Here are some of the instructions about the essay, word count, and it's kind of erased down there, I apologize, but it says 5-minute maximum for the video. Okay, you're also going to need a letter of recommendation. Now, if you've never asked for a letter of recommendation before, number one, don't be afraid to ask people. People are generally honored to be asked to write you a letter of recommendation. Don't assume that they're going to write it. Say, would you be able to write me a letter of recommendation for this program? Give them some information about the program. Give them enough time to write it and submit it. Okay, I write lots of letters of recommendation. If you don't give me enough time to sit down and write a good letter of recommendation, I won't have enough time to write a good letter of recommendation. I recommend you give them at least 2 weeks. So if this is due February 16th, you need to ask them well before February 16th. So I would say by February 1st at the latest, ask them. And then you will enter their email in the application, and then they will receive an email from us. So it'll look something like this, right? You will enter in their email here, right? You'll click on that, check there, right? And then what's going to happen is if you have multiple people that you want to write letters for you, you could click on that box and add more people. Then you're going to submit it. Now, just because you've submitted this application doesn't mean that the letter has been submitted. All right. So at that moment, you click submit. That's when an email goes to the email that you've put here, and we'll send them a nice email. Dear so and so, this person has requested that you write a letter for them from the Craft Scholars Program. Now, ideally, you've already asked them, you've already told them that they should expect this, they receive it, and then they will need to submit their letter by February 16th. They need to upload their letter by February 16th. So you need to ask them well in advance and give them enough time to write it and then enough time to upload it. Okay, apply now. We're accepting 20 freshmen in February 2024 to start in our program. Remember, applications are due February 16th. You have to be accepted to Barry before applying to Craft. So apply to Barry right away. Once you're accepted, you can complete your Craft application at that point, but you can start on it before then. You know the requirements. Make sure you contact the recommenders well in advance so that they can get the recommendation in by February 16th. We anticipate announcing students accepted on March 15th. That will give you enough time to take into consideration all of these things when it comes to making your decisions about which university you're going to attend. After you're accepted, you have to meet some requirements throughout the program. You have to maintain a 3.0 GPA, that's a B average or higher. You have to be an active member of the learning community. So attending meetings, you have to participate in the Urban Greenworks project that I mentioned in the previous video, the spring break trip that I mentioned in the previous video. You have to demonstrate ongoing financial need. If you win the lottery, great. I'm very happy for you. But if you no longer have ongoing financial need, then you would not be eligible for the scholarship. You could still participate in a lot of the program, but you would not be eligible for the scholarship any longer. And you have to remain on track to graduate in 4 years. All right. I hope that's all clear. Here again is our link to the website, our QR code to the website, and an email address for you to address any questions. Thank you very much.